I opened season 3 of The Mandalorian with a shot of Kylo Ren squashing Baby Yoda, and then cut to Mandy and never got back to Baby Yoda. Splat. And then it's just like, alright, now we're following the Mandalorian. Baby Yoda is squashed like a bug.
With the burning nipple in the background.
Yeah. Splatters him like a bug.
If you had chosen your own...
So, we open with this classic Western showdown. Cobb Vanth has returned, as well as Timothy Oliphant. And yeah, this episode was directed by Dave Filoni, and he did a really good job. It was like, yeah. Later on, we'll get to the later on duel later on, but he copied a lot of classic Sergio Leone, lots of extreme close-ups and cutting the mid shots, and he really got that spaghetti western style down. And you could tell that he put time and effort into copying those film elements and putting them here in a Star Wars context. And this scene, is also ramping up the tension with the old Pykes and all of Tatooine. They're escalating and they're spice running. I love the Eastwood-esque moment as well when Timothy Oliphant just kicks over all the spice. I don't give a fuck about money, I just want you out of me town.
I don't want anything to do with this shit. Trying to clean this place up.
Yeah. It was very evident to me too that he's an amazing actor, and this show lacks amazing actors. Tamora Morrison is good, the Asian lady hasn't been given a chance to do anything. Almost said Asian girl, but she is 89 years old, so Asian lady. You learned lady. She hasn't been given anything good. Pedro Pascal is obviously a very good actor, but he's got a helmet on.
Yep.
And there were lots of shots later on when Timothy Oliphant's in the bar and just his mannerisms and stuff. I'm like, this caliber of acting has not been in the show so far.
He feels like the character, who he's playing.
And he's played those characters a million times before in Deadwood, which is fucking amazing. HBO Western. He's the sheriff in that as well. He's basically just the same character, but it's Star Wars. I'm down for it. I love Westerns. I love Timothy Oliphant.
If they work, don't fix it.
Yeah. And then we cut to old Mandy heading down to wherever the fuck this planet is. I don't know what planet it is. I really love the atmosphere of it.
But I don't.
I don't know whether, maybe it's been Rebels or some shit, but I don't know. From my movie knowledge, I don't think it's a planet that's popped up.
It probably is, but I'm not aware of it.
Yeah.
You mentioned the name, so it's very hard to know.
I really like the atmosphere when Mandy landed though. It was weird and mysterious and engaging. You got all those androids, which were cool but almost ominous.
Yeah.
And his relationship with droids, which is very standoffish and confrontational, made it even more weird, and
made it tense.
Yeah.
In a way, not aggressive tense.
It was engaging. I was interested, and it looked weird and odd. And he waits and he waits, and Ahsoka comes, and she's like, nah.
I did love the way the little droid went and just built him a bench.
That was funny. A bench? How long am I going to be here? R2's giving him nothing.
R2's just off.
Yeah, is anyone alive here? Just androids building some temple, which is interesting imagery too, because it's something ancient, thousands of years old, and it's being built by these highly sophisticated advanced robots. What are they going to do with these androids when they're done? Did they rent them? They probably rented them.
That would make sense.
Luke wouldn't own them. Does Luke have any money? He's
Leia would probably fund them.
Yeah, Leia's rich.
I don't know how she's rich. All the money would have blown up with Alderaan, right?
That's true. They don't go into the economy.
Maybe there's a bank of the galaxy or some shit.
Yeah, she's still the general of the Rebel Alliance or whatever the fuck they were called later on.
The New Republic.
Yeah, she has some level of stature. Maybe she had to make her money back through gambling and doing cocaine like Carrie Fisher did. R.I.P. Carrie Fisher. You're doing coke in heaven now. Then Ahsoka rocks up, and it's the same old Jedi conventions that have been established before in the prequels and whatnot, which is just you can't see Grogu because fucking you can't see him, bro. And I was just like, but I don't know. Like, Luke's friends with Han, right? Like, Ahsoka's friends with Bo-Katan. They have friends. I know it's probably not a good time for Mandy to just rock up, like, immediately in the beginning of his training. But Jedi's gonna have friends. Like, later on, I'm sure it'll be fine for him to have a visit.
I think it's, whilst he's in training. You're not really sure if younglings have friends.
Yeah, that's fair. But Ahsoka's just like, is this for you or him? I'm like, I don't know, both of us. What the fuck, bitch? You have friends.
Very fair point, though. If you see him again, it's just going to open up the wound, which is still very fresh.
That's true. I think it'll be fine in, like, you know, a few years' time. It's just so immediate, you know? It's a bit... But I was kind of on Mandy's side because all that... I mean, I love all that weird religious Jedi ideology and shit. You can't fuck and you can't have relationships and all that.
I'm pretty sure, like, fuck, they just can't be
They can fuck, they just can't have relationships. The psychology of that is so interesting, to be put in a situation when you can have sex, but you can't form any mental attachments. That would, like, drive people insane,
Yeah, the amount of Jedi who they don't have attachments with them when their Jedi master, their master or whatever dies, and they dance with the dark side and shit. It's like, oh, is that not an attachment?
Yeah, they obviously can't have zero relationships because then they're just robots that are just like...
They'd just be a brick, which is evidently Luke. He's not very robotic.
Oh, what do you think about Luke, Mark? What are your thoughts on Luke?
I thought they did a really good job with the face thing. I think they did a better job than they did in the last season of Mandalorian.
That's fair.
But he was very, very robotic. Something about the way his face moved and shit, which is fair enough. They're pasting someone else's face on top of his body.
Yeah.
There were times where I'm like, yeah, that feels like Luke. And then there were other times where I was a bit standoffish about it.
I think that's fair. I'll list the things I think that are good about it and then the things I think that are bad about it. So it's cool that Mark Hamill has a fucking job because we all love Mark Hamill. He's amazing. He's getting some money. He's doing some voice work. He might even be doing like motion capture stuff, even though he's fat as shit. But I think, you know, when you watch the special features of The Mandalorian Season 2, like, they're giving him a job. They're all like, oh my god, it's Mark Hamill, Dave Filoni, all that. They love him. Everyone loves him. It's nice to see that. It's a bit of redemption after The Last Jedi, I guess, because he hated that so much.
He's still a Jedi here. He still has faith.
He's still Luke.
Yeah.
He's not a fucking bitter, fat, angry guy who doesn't give a fuck about the galaxy.
Yeah.
He's hopeful. He's happy. He's starting his academy.
I will say, though, I was hoping they were going to go more towards the Legends continuity of how he was with his new academy.
Yeah, well, that stuff's supposed to be awesome.
I mean,
his kids and Mara Jade and all that.
Yeah, well, and that, not even necessarily with that, just being looser with the rules because he feels like that was a failing of the Jedi Order.
Yeah, and who's there to tell him all the rules?
Yeah, like he was very big about how no force power is evil, it's inherently how to use it. So you're allowed to play with dark side
even the attachment thing, like that was a Jedi Council prequel. Like, he didn't necessarily. Obi-Wan or Yoda didn't tell him about that. I guess he just read a book. I guess he was reading books. I guess.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of text and stuff, surely.
Yeah, of course.
Which he would have read before he tried to start. Because it's been a few years since Return of the Jedi. At this point, surely, before starting an academy, he wants to
doing his research.
Yeah, but
and he's like, well, we can't fucking form attachments. Hey Han, fuck off! We're not mates, Lando, you can't
You're fucking dead to me.
I was never friends with you. I don't have relationships, never did. Leia? Nah.
I don't even know if Lando and Luke were that close anyway. The first time he met Lando was when he was missing an arm and Lando came through the top of the Millennium Falcon.
I don't remember them doing anything else.
No, I don't know if they spoke in any of the movies.
They were both in Jedi, but I don't remember them having a scene.
They were both in the last one.
No, one of them was dead.
Yeah,
Luke. They killed Luke.
They introduced one of your characters and didn't kill him off. The only one I didn't care about.
Lando. Fat as shit, can barely walk.
Do make him creepy as fuck though.
Yeah, the thing for young women. Maybe Billy D. Williams just brought that to the role. Wasn't in the script. Billy
went with it.
Yeah.
Where are you from, General?
The gold system. I don't know about that. What about you, kid? The times we loved. We shared love and made love. Well, let's find out. It doesn't seem to me like...
Yeah, so it's nice that there's a bit of redemption for the character, and I'm happy for Mark Hamill, and I didn't hate it. It doesn't offend me. It's not dragging my childhood hero through the mud. I mean, I've already been through that and kind of gotten over it, so even if it did, I don't know if I'd care as much. But the negatives are, it looks like crap. I mean, like, cinema is a visual medium, and there is beauty in imagery. Like, when you look at a nice painting, like, that looks nice, it's pleasing for these reasons. When you look at a bad painting, it looks bad. I mean, you know, you look at Cowboy Bebop, it's like a beautiful piece of art, and then you look at CGI Luke, and he's the terrible piece of garbage.
I mean, yes, but I don't know. It's like, I agree with you with that aspect, but at the same time, I don't know if I'd prefer to have just some random actor playing a young
Yeah, we went through that with Solo, right? And we didn't like that.
I did not.
Me especially.
At least this way, I can still convince myself it's Luke Skywalker.
It's a weird one, yeah. Do you recast, or do you do the weird Uncanny Valley CGI thing? They've done both, and I don't particularly like either. Maybe just let those characters die. Be more ambiguous. Have Mandy rock up to the island, the androids are there, Ahsoka comes, and she's like, you shouldn't see him. We don't necessarily need to see all this jumping around and the probe droid and the shit. Maybe. Although then the end
They needed to
does
throw
feel
Grogu
more.
in there though. People would have been pissed if he didn't make an appearance.
I did not think he was going to appear in the book of
I
Boba
didn't
Fett.
either.
I timed it. Boba Fett's in this episode for 1 minute.
That's 2 episodes where one more.
2 of 7. It's just, it's the Mandalorian season 3 at this point, which I'm happy with.
Season 2.5.
Yeah. That's
well, at the end of the day, this is a sub-chapter of The Mandalorian, so it has to tie together.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with it.
I'm way happier with this than what Boba Fett was doing.
Yeah, they really fucking fucked that up.
But this episode was good. He was in there for 1 minute. So yeah, part of me doesn't really want to see Luke or the training or anything. But at the same time, it's alright. It's just distracting. You're not thinking about the story or the narrative. You're thinking about that face and you're looking at it and you're analysing and you're like...
It was only there for the sheer fact they wanted to include Grogu. And they want to show... We'll continue talking. We'll talk about that later.
There's a scene too where Luke runs up like 2 thin pieces of bamboo. He's doing all these flips and stuff from Empire, which is like, he's done that with Big Yoda, now he's doing it with Little Yoda. And he just like runs up 2 pieces of bamboo like this, like up to the top, and I'm like, what the fuck?
I did like that though. It was like almost, it just made me feel like it's kind of like, Yoda trained Luke, and now Luke's training a baby Yoda.
There's a certain comfort in like the master apprentice training sequences. It's an old story thing that's come up time and time again throughout literature. What Rey never got, getting it for baby Yoda, which is hilarious. But yeah, it's part of the archetypical hero's journey, the novice to the master, and it's fascinating to see. It's just weird with CGI Luke.
Size matters not.
I did like how he was, how he pointed out, like, to you, a short time is someone's entire life.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that is so fucking true. Before he's even an adult, Mando's gonna be long dead.
Yeah. He'll see everyone. Most people he knows go. Everyone will be like dogs. Dogs have that really quick lifespan. Imagine your life, but everyone just has the lifespan of a dog.
Everyone else around.
Maybe even shorter, maybe like 5 years.
Yeah, because they look like, 900?
Yeah, 900 or 800.
And he's 50 and he's a toddler.
He's a baby.
Yeah.
It'd be, you have trouble forming attachments.
But in some ways, shouldn't that mean that you should
spend more
time with Mandy?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'll let him see him.
To be fair though, it doesn't show what happens with that. Like, he could choose that and then decide, maybe, that was the failing.
Yeah, let's just talk about the ending and then we'll come back to the other threads. So he gives him the option. Mandy gave him a little chainmail shirt and he has Yoda's lightsaber and he's like, you can choose one path or the other. Stay with me and never form attachments, or go with Mandy, don't be a Jedi. And kill people.
Pretty much.
So, do you reckon we're going to see this in the next episode, or are they just going to leave this here and pick this up season 3? I have no idea what they're going to do. Hey, it's not anything to
It's
what
not
I expected.
predictable in any way. Surely they'll have to do it in the next episode.
Yeah.
They'll have to.
Yeah.
It'll lead into what is Mandalorian season 3. All I know is if he does decide to go with Mandy and shit, then it's going to be really hard to have this massive war with Baby Yoda there.
It kind of takes away from everything that had happened as well. Like, Mandy had a mission to take this guy to his people and save him. And then he went through all that, and it's just like, yeah, well, fuck all of that.
But
Kind
to be
of
fair, he
undoes
would have
some
seen
of it.
it does, but he would have seen it as it was a mission of him realizing that he needs Grogu.
Yeah. Yeah, in that way, yeah, I guess that is.
Because he's not your
character arc.
stereotypical fucking character. He doesn't care about the greater good so much.
Yeah, he's just murdering people for money. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even really know. I guess I want him to stay with Luke and just...
I want him to choose that and Luke say that was one of the errors of the previous Jedi Council.
That would be cool.
And that you have to be mindful of your attachments.
Yeah. That would be awesome, actually, because, yeah, as we've spoken, yeah, like, the Catholic Church and forced celibacy led to, like, the biggest pedophilic fucking disaster of all mankind. You can't just say, hey, human being. I guess some of them aren't human beings, though. But hey, being, you need to act completely out of character. Some things drive people fucking crazy, eh?
I mean, think about it like this. You don't like any attachments, blah, blah, blah. You don't... Then you get attached to someone accidentally and they die or something like that. It will throw you through a fucking into a spree because you have your whole life you never experienced that amount of loss.
Yeah.
I understand why it's fearful, but if at the same time if you train someone to know that is a part of life and they become one with the Force and all that sort of shit, then it'll be a lot easier to deal with.
Yeah.
Which is the way I'm hoping it goes.
That would be cool.
But
yeah.
the fear of the dark side from the Last Jedi and shit with him going to fucking Kylo.
Yeah, and Anakin and all that jazz. Yeah, within the Star Wars universe, I guess, yeah, people just do turn fucking evil. The Force, right? It's the Force. We don't have the Force. They have to, forego their natural fucking urges because they have this magic that could fucking turn them evil at the flip of a dime. So I guess it makes sense in world.
In the Force, it's like, I think they mentioned in the Clone Wars that there is no light without the darkness. There will always be dark side users. There will always be light side users.
Yeah.
That's the balance of the Force.
Yeah.
The only thing about what Anakin had to do was bring balance so it can start a clean slate.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I kind of hope he stays with Luke, and I kind of hope the season 3 of The Mandalorian is just Pedro Pascal on his own doing stuff with Bo-Katan and all the weird lore and whatnot.
Grogu would just get in the way. There's so much shit that he needs to get done.
And his storyline is done now. Like,
by all means, even if you want to have it with Grogu or whatever, just do the first, all except for the last episode, and have the last episode with that thing.
Just open season 3 of The Mandalorian with a shot of Kylo Ren squashing Baby Yoda, and then cut to Mandy and never cut back to Baby Yoda. Splat. And then it's just like, alright, now we're following The Mandalorian. Baby Yoda is squashed like a bug.
With the burning nipple in the background.
Yeah. Splatters him like a bug.
If you had chosen your own,
green goo comes
I mean,
out
that being
everywhere.
said, we do have that on saying if he does choose Mando, then we know he doesn't get killed by Kylo Ren at the temple.
Yeah, because if he stays with Luke, there's a high possibility that Kylo Ren kills him. Because that's what happens. That's canon. That's where it's heading.
That's probably happening in 15 years or something like that. So Grogu's gonna be a
baby,
6-year-old.
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
Although he'd be a very skilled 6-year-old.
That's fair. We'll see what happens. I hope he stays with Luke and gets squashed like a bug by Kylo Ren. That's where I hope Baby Yoda ends.
You know the horror of most of you just watching for Baby Yoda?
Kids and shit. My kid.
Just an
I would love to see that.
Brutal moment they show his crushed corpse and shit too after he lifts
just has
his
to
shoe.
splatter though, like goo sprays out and stuff. Like it's just like blah. Oh, it's a sick. He's like
Puts it out on him.
and then cuts to Mandy. 15 years earlier. And then the Mandalorian goes back to Tatooine. We see Boba for 5 seconds. And then it cuts to him enlisting, or trying to enlist Cobb Vanth and all his town, which, is interesting. I guess they're kind of friends.
Well, we thought they were, but it was plain and simple a debt. And as you said, we're square. I don't know you shit.
Which is fair enough. They've just fought off the fucking crate dragon and now they're peaceful.
I love the way the Jawas had it on there.
Yeah, the parts of its ribs inside the bar and stuff was really cool. It was a really nice, like, a Western atmosphere. But a lot of the episodes seemed, like, they weren't quite reaching the pinnacle of where they could have been. Like, the car chase and shit just looked terrible and cheap. This accurately represented that Western feeling and tone.
And it felt like Tatooine.
Yeah, and it was great to see Timothy Olyphant like in the bar, just his eyebrows and his facial movements and just his subtleties of his acting. I was like, oh, that's something I'm not getting from anybody else in this show.
I'll tell you what. Things are tough around here. But I'll see what I can do.
And then, he tells Mandy to fuck off, and this guy...
I said, we'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
And he called a town meeting.
And then the name of the episode was like, a stranger wanders out of the desert or some shit, and this fucking guy wanders out of the desert. This is the part I was talking about, all the extreme close-ups, cutting the mid-shots. If you look at, like, The Good, Bad, and the Ugly, or A Fistful of Dollars...
I felt it 100% when I was watching it.
Yeah, he went to the time and effort of looking at the shots, the framing, the pacing, the music, the tone, and he played that out perfectly in a Star Wars context. It was a Mexican standoff, right out of one of those Eastwood Leonio films.
Deputy or whatever the fuck that guy.
That guy's a dickhead, through and through, deputy dickhead, and he distracts him and mate.
That guy's actually named Cad Bane.
Yeah, so he's from the Clone Wars.
Yeah, he's a big part of the Clone Wars. Hardcore, crazy good mercenary.
Yeah. I've seen images of him, but I didn't know his name, didn't know his story or anything.
He does a lot of work for Dooku.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. A lot of run-ins. I think he had one run-in with Boba Fett actually when he was young.
Yeah.
And he's just you wanted something done, you hired Cad Bane. I'm pretty sure it's Cad Bane.
Yeah.
He's even like took on Jedi and shit like that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
What did you think of him in live action yet? There's always a thing where they take Ahsoka and they put in live action and does it work, does it not work?
His teeth were a bit off, but I think they did a great job. His voice too is supposed to be very metallic.
Yeah.
But it wasn't so much. But none of it was bad. He looked menacing. He looked way more menacing in this than he did in the Clone Wars. Yeah,
not knowing him from the Clone Wars or anything, I thought he looked fine on camera. I realised in live action seemed compelling as all the other silly aliens. I mean, Star Wars, it's always had silly, weird looking fucking aliens. It's one of the great things about Star Wars. It's Star Trek or Stargate or The Expanse or a lot of things never had.
Should have known Dave Filoni would bring back character from Clone Wars this episode.
And be Luke heavy. And it had an Order 66 flashback.
Yeah, that was cool. As most of the Clone Wars fans, people were just like, fuck yes.
Yeah.
They Cad Bane, they did him really well. I was really happy.
Yeah, it's amazing how they're ticking all the boxes with like Favreau and his love for the old movies and all those old Lucas inspirations, and Filoni with his Clone Wars expertise and all that. And they're nailing it now. They weren't nailing it earlier. But it's as soon as we cut away from Boba Fett that it starts becoming compelling again.
Because the Mandalorian's just a big, awesome formula.
Yeah, they just didn't get Boba Fett right. They didn't know what to do or something.
Yeah, it was a struggle there, clearly. But they also have 2 seasons of backstory to these characters, plus fucking 7 seasons or whatever of Clone Wars for Cad Bane.
Yeah, Boba Fett had nothing.
Plus the old mate in the Sheriff, he was, in Mandalorian as well. So,
Yeah,
heaps of backstory. Well, then Boba Fett, instead of building backstory, they just kind of threw random shit together.
Yeah. There was something off about it, eh? I just wasn't invested. I wasn't compelled. I didn't care.
Well, didn't fucking care about the Sand People, that's for sure. Getting doxed.
Yeah, so now basically Freetown does have a a reason to join this battle. Oh, the bar also blows up. The fucking
Yeah, what was the deal with that? What's the purpose?
Yeah, maybe it doesn't make narrative sense. I mean, the drug dealers basically is the spice like a drug?
I think it is. I really, out of everything, I've heard so much about spice. I've never researched it.
Yeah, it just reminds me.
It's got to
of
be
Doom.
drugs, though, right? Surely.
Yeah.
I know that, yeah, they do cover it a lot when they talk about the Pykes in the Clone Wars. They are spice runners.
That's what they do. Yeah. Yeah, it's building up. Yeah,
and
like
in Solo. Sorry.
Are they in Solo?
They go to that spice planet.
Oh yeah, the spice mines are Kessel.
Yeah.
The Kessel run.
I wonder if the Pykes are running that place.
Presumably. Or I don't know. Maybe they're just like bandits.
I might go
that
back
steal
and watch it and see. It was all droids, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. It's hard to remember Solo.
Yeah.
It existed, and I definitely watched it at least 3 times.
It just, yeah, wasn't that memorable.
It wasn't terrible. It was, yeah. Well, let's not talk about Solo.
No, we've already talked about
We
Solo.
want to look what Solo has. There are a few up here, bro. Get into that. And that was, yeah, basically it. Yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. It's probably my favourite episode so far. It's building up the tension of the Pykes and the war. We got a lot of Mandalorian stuff, which was surprising.
Got Grogu, got to see Luke.
Baby Yoda, yeah.
Ahsoka.
Yeah. Zero Boba Fett.
Ahsoka still feels weird to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
They did a good job with that.
She looks different.
I have nothing against her. Even the way she just acts is a little bit different. Like, it's not by any means bad, it just feels... I have to convince myself it's Ahsoka. I don't feel like it's Ahsoka.
Yeah, it's a different format. It's weird taking a...
It's hard, especially one with so much character development.
Yeah. And yeah, it's not the same actress, obviously, because the first one was a different voice actress and it was CG. And now, yeah, it's a different actress, so it's kind of like the Luke thing, I guess. But wait, no, it's reverse. It's taking a 2D character and turning it live action, where Luke was a live action character and then turning it CG animated. It's a flip.
Yeah.
Ah!
And the two of them are together.
Yeah.
But why was Ahsoka there? Apparently she wasn't really there. She was just
she's friends with Luke?
She just happened to be there. I mean, it makes sense. He's Anakin's son.
Yeah,
And
she
she
said
was
something
very,
about Anakin.
very close to Anakin.
Yeah, it just, yeah.
But it's weird, like, did we ever see them meet? We didn't, did we?
No, Luke and Ahsoka. I mean, I talked in this episode, but that was the first time I've seen them together in a room. Right outside. Yeah, in conclusion.
Yeah, how can it be there? Anyway, go on.
I dug it. What did you think, Mark?
I dug it. It was good.
We dug it.
I mentioned a few things which I wasn't so sure about, but none of them were bad by any stretch. They were just not what I would
be happy if the whole thing was, of this level of quality. Even like the bad stuff.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Even the bad stuff was like interesting and fascinating. I enjoy Star Wars, and then I enjoy analyzing Star Wars, and yeah, the Luke stuff is weird and off-putting and distracting, but it's interesting to think about it.
I mean, they're doing the best they can with Luke Skywalker. I don't hate on them for doing that.
60.
Like I said, at least I still feel like I'm actually watching Mark Hamill as Luke, even though it's not him. But
he does the voice. He's doing something. Maybe he does the voice. They've like done something to the voice too. They're trying to make it sound younger. It all feels very artificial and digital.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, they got to do this shit to perfect it, right?
That's true.
They got already leagues ahead of what they used to be.
One day it'll be seamless and you won't be able to tell.
No. Oh, what a good day that.
I mean, look where CGI was a decade ago.
Yeah.
So imagine it a decade from now.
Imagine it 2 decades from now.
It'll probably be seamless.
Virtual reality movies and shit.
Yeah, 15 years it'll probably be hard to tell. Like
in real life.
Yeah.
Just fucking holographic face. It's like
Meta
plastic surgery, just have a holographic face.
Alright, thank you all for watching.